Here we'll do more practice writing systems of equations. This question says, 3 angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. The largest angle is the sum of the 2 other angles, and the smallest angle is 1/3 of the largest angle. We're going to try to find the measure of all 3 angles. Since we have 3 unknown angles, we'll label each of the 3 with letters A, B, and C. We'll let A be our largest angle, and we'll let B be the middle angle and C be the smallest angle. The first sentence in this paragraph says that the 3 angles in the triangle add to 180 degrees. This means if we add all 3 angles together, we should make 180. Since we have labeled each angle with a letter, we'll take angle A plus B plus C together must make 180. This will be our first equation. The second sentence says the largest angle is the sum of the other 2 angles. Let's break the sentence down for a moment. Let's read the sentence left to right. The largest angle we know is angle A because that's how we've labeled it. Then when we see the word is, let the word is stand for an equal sign. Then, if we see the word sum, we know what's coming next is an addition, so it will involve a plus sign. Then we are told what to add together, and that's the other 2 angles. The other 2 angles are B and C, so we'll say B plus C on the right side of this equation. This will be our second equation. A equals B plus C. However, we will need a third equation in order to solve this system because we have 3 unknowns. Let's move on to the third line in the paragraph. The smallest angle is 1/3 of the largest angle. Once again, let's break the sentence down. Starting from the left, working our way right. The sentence begins with the smallest angle. We know that smallest angle is C. Then we see the word is once again, meaning there's an equal sign that comes next. After the equals, we have 1/3 of the largest angle. 1/3 of the largest angle means 1/3 multiplied by angle A because that's the largest angle. Therefore, we can say that C is equal to 1/3 times A. This will be our third equation in the system. Now that we have 3 equations, we can try to solve this system. We'll move to the next page to begin. There are a number of ways we could try solving this system. However, the method I would prefer to use here is the substitution method. The reason for this is because we have no coefficient in front of most of the letters. If there's no coefficient for most of our letters, that means each letter will be fairly straightforward to solve. To begin, I'd like to rearrange equation number 3. Equation number 3 right now says that C is equal to 1/3 A. However, since A appears a number of times in this system, it may be helpful to go ahead and solve for A. If we begin with C equals 1/3 A, but we try to get A by itself, we'll need to multiply by the reciprocal of 1/3. This means we'll be multiplying by 3/1 on the left and right. If we take 3/1 times C, we can say that's 3C. And then multiplying the 1/3 A times 3/1 will cancel out the 1/3 and the 3/1, giving us A. This means that A is also equal to 3C. Now that we know this, we can replace all occurrences of A in this equation with 3C. We'll box in all of the places where A occurs in the other 2 lines. In those 2 lines, we will no longer say A, instead we will say 3C. With this in mind, we'll rewrite line number 1. Rather than saying A, we'll say 3C plus B plus C equals 180. Our line 2 will change as well. Rather than A equals B plus C, we now say 3C equals B plus C. This will be our new line 1 and 2. We can simplify line 1 a little bit. In line 1, we have 3C and an additional C. If we combine those, this will give us 4C. We'll still have plus B, and this will still equal 180. In line 2, we can actually get B by itself at this time. To do that, we can subtract C from both sides. On the right, the plus C and the minus C cancel out, and on the left, 3C minus C gives us 2C, which equals B. Now that we've simplified both line 1 and line 2 as much as we can make another substitution. We'll do that on the next page. Here we've copied over our new line 1 and line 2. Now notice that B is equal to 2C. And this means, since we know that B equals 2C because line 2 says so, we can replace the B in line 1 with 2C. Therefore, our new line 1 with the replaced B will still have 4C. We'll add B, which is now 2C. We'll say this still equals 180. If we take 4C plus 2C, we'll get 6C equals 180. And then if we divide both sides by 6, we will get C is equal to 30. Now we know the measure of the smallest angle, and this will help us get the other two angles. We know from our first slide that A is equal to 3C. That's something we carried over from the previous steps. But we now also know that B is equal to 2C. So now let's place our C, which is 30, in both of these underlined green positions. So A will equal 3 times 30, and B will equal 2 times 30. 3 times 30 is 90 degrees, and 2 times 30 is 60 degrees. This means our largest angle is 90 degrees, our middle angle is 60 degrees, and our smallest angle, C, was 30 degrees. These are the angles of the triangle that satisfy this system of equations.